Well, hello and welcome to New Energy Week 2023. My name is James Rosenstein of One Business World, the hosting platform of New Energy Week, New York Energy Week 2023. We're thrilled to welcome you to the most dynamic and influential energy event of the year. New York Energy Week, founded by EnerKnol in 2013, brings together visionaries, experts, and industry leaders from around the globe to explore innovative solutions and shape the future of the energy landscape. Welcome to New York Energy Week 2023, where minds meet, ideas ignite, and the energy revolution begins. It is now my great pleasure that I introduce you to Yejide Olutosin, the Director of Business Climate Finance, the Impact Experience, and she's going to be talking about decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts with a focus on climate and racial equity. Yejide, I hand over to you.
Thank you, James. Welcome and hello. My name is Yejide Olutosin, coming to you from Michigan, and I am honored to be addressing the crucial topic of decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts with a focus on climate and racial equity. Today, we'll explore how sustainable financial practices can drive positive change and create a more equitable and resilient future. My journey began in the vibrant regions of sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia, where I witnessed the pressing issue of energy poverty and its profound impact on communities. Motivated by a deep desire to make a difference, I immersed myself in managing energy access projects in emerging markets for over half a decade. It was a transformative experience that opened my eyes to the immense potential for positive change at the intersection of finance and social impact. But my journey did not stop there. I embarked on a brief tenure managing investment portfolios for high net worth individuals and organizations, where I realized the power and influence that finance holds. It became clear to me that finance, when combined with a social and environmental conscience, could be a driving force for creating a better world. In my current role as the Director of Business Climate Finance at Impact Experience, I collaborate closely with visionary corporations and like-minded stakeholders to forge alliances that advance our mission. Our goal is twofold. One, to promote the transfer of corporate cash assets to sustainable financial institutions, and two, to encourage firms to prioritize environmental, social, and governance factors when choosing employer-sponsored retirement accounts. And here we are, gathered at New York Energy Week to explore a pressing topic that calls for our attention: decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts with a focus on climate and racial equity. Today, we will uncover the transformative potential of aligning financial activities with our collective vision for a more equitable and resilient future. Today, we will explore key insights from groundbreaking reports, such as the carbon impact of US company-sponsored 401k plans, co-authored by Impact Experience, Mercer, and the CFA Institute in 2022. This report offers insight into the connection between traditional retirement accounts and greenhouse gas emissions and provides a compelling business case for integrating environmental, social, and governance factors into investment decisions. Together, we will navigate the complexities and unveil practical strategies to decarbonize portfolios, redirect capital towards sustainable enterprises, and embrace inclusive practices that leave no one behind. Picture this: a world where every dollar invested in corporate cash and retirement accounts is working not only to secure financial futures, but also to combat climate change and promote racial equity. It's a world where financial decisions become catalysts for a sustainable and inclusive future. Today, I will share with you the vision, why, and how of decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts while strongly emphasizing climate and racial equity. Let me begin with a story that exemplifies the power of aligning financial decisions with environmental and social goals. Meet Sarah, a young professional working for a forward-thinking company. Sarah is not just concerned about her retirement savings, but also deeply passionate about addressing climate change and racial inequality. She wonders, can my money make a difference? Sarah's question reflects the broader challenge we face today. How can we harness the immense potential of corporate cash reserves and retirement accounts, which collectively hold trillions of dollars, to shape our world more sustainably and equitably? According to a report authored by my team, Americans participating in company-sponsored retirement plans are disproportionately investing in and are financially exposed to carbon-intensive companies. This report sheds light on an aspect of financed emissions that has only recently gained attention. Financed emissions gauge the impact of funds or loans from banks on activities that contribute to global warming. In other words, it quantifies the extent to which financial resources are channeled towards actions that contribute to the planet's warming. The findings reveal that the average carbon intensity of one 401k plan is 124 times higher than the average company's Scope 1 and 2 emissions. In other words, for every $1 million invested, 401k plans to emit 64 tons of CO2, the rough equivalent of burning around 73,000 gallons of gasoline, enough to fuel roughly 200 cars. However, a significant challenge arises as the vast majority of Americans relying on these 401k plans for retirement savings do not have access to invest in companies that are best positioned for an eco-friendly future. Companies have already taken significant steps by setting sustainability goals and making commitments showing that they understand the urgent need to address climate change and promote racial equity, recognizing that it not only aligns with their long-term business interests, but also fulfills their societal responsibilities. However, to further demonstrate their commitment to environmental sustainability, companies can take a proactive approach to their financial activity by, one, considering whether the financial institution they choose to deposit their corporate cash assets aligns with their existing sustainability and equity goals, and two, by offering climate-friendly retirement fund options for employees. By actively seeking financial institutions that prioritize sustainability and equity, companies can ensure that their corporate cash reserves are in line with their broader environmental and social objectives. This includes considering factors such as the institution's commitment to reducing carbon emissions, promoting social justice, and investing in environmentally responsible initiatives. Similarly, by providing climate-friendly retirement options as default retirement choices, they empower their employees to make sustainable investment decisions that contribute to combating climate change. In doing so, companies not only support their employees' desire to invest in line with their values, but also play a crucial role in driving change within the financial industry. This step not only enables employees to align their retirement savings with their environmental beliefs, but also catalyzes a positive ripple effect by encouraging other companies to adopt similar practices. Decarbonizing corporate cash in retirement accounts is a critical step toward a sustainable future. According to the Carbon Bankroll report for some of the world's largest companies, including Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Salesforce, their cash holdings are their largest source of emissions, increasing total emissions by 91 to 112%, so a 100 increase on average when compared to most recently reported emissions. By redirecting these financial resources towards investments that support clean energy, green infrastructure, and sustainable enterprises, we can accelerate the transition to a low carbon economy. It's also important to mention that integrating racial equity into these decisions ensures that marginalized communities benefit from this transition. With the importance of decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts in mind, let's explore 3 key strategies for unlocking their potential and driving the transition to a sustainable and equitable future. Shift engage, advance. Shifting paradigms, rethinking investment priorities. This could be done through encouraging companies to align their cash reserves and retirement accounts with their sustainability goals, or engaging institutional investors to incorporate environmental and social factors into their decision-making processes, or 3, by promoting divestment from fossil fuels and investments in renewable energy and clean technologies. Engage. Engaging employees, empowering individual impact. Encouraging employer-sponsored retirement plans to offer sustainable investment options. Educate employees on the power of their retirement savings and how they can contribute to a greener and more equitable world. And finally, building partnerships with financial institutions to provide ESG-focused retirement planning services. And finally, advance. Advancing racial and climate justice, intersectionality, and collaboration. This could be done through recognizing the interconnectedness of racial equity and climate justice, or fostering collaboration between community-based institutions such as CDFIs, credit unions, minority depository institutions, and mainstream banks. And finally, you can advance racial and climate justice through creating initiatives that channel investment towards marginalized communities, supporting inclusive economic empowerment and sustainable development. To shift, engage, and advance to a low-carbon economy, collaboration is key to achieving meaningful change. Companies can work together with financial institutions, asset managers, policymakers, and other stakeholders to develop innovative financial products and investment vehicles that explicitly advance climate and racial equity. By sharing best practices, engaging in industry-wide initiatives, and fostering partnerships with mission-driven financial institutions, we can maximize the positive impact of our financial resources. Individual investors, regardless of their scale, hold the potential to make a substantial impact on decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts. It is crucial to recognize that even smaller investors can wield significant influence through the power of their voice, particularly when that voice is amplified through collective action. By engaging with our employers and advocating for sustainable investment options and retirement plans, we can express our values and push for meaningful change. Additionally, as individual investors, we can leverage our proxy voting rights to influence company decisions, ensuring that environmental and social considerations are taken into account. Now, it's time for action. Each of us has a role in decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts for climate and racial equity, and I'd like to invite you to consider the following steps. 1, advocate for sustainable investment practices within your organization. 2, make sustainable choices with your retirement savings plans. 3, engage with financial institutions and policymakers to push for change. 4, support initiatives that bridge the gap between community-aligned financial institutions and traditional banks. And 5, follow and engage with Impact Experience and our Business Climate Finance Initiative on social media. And 6, you all are all invited to our next virtual convening. Mark your calendars for July 7th, where we'll be delving deeper into this topic. In closing, let's remember that our financial decisions have the power to shape our world. By decarbonizing corporate cash and retirement accounts with a focus on climate and racial equity, we can drive the transition to a sustainable, inclusive, and resilient future. Together, let's seize this opportunity and build a better world for generations to come. Thank you. And 2, by recognizing the fact that these corporations have already identified the need for this push. A lot of places have signed climate pledges, have become signatories for global environmental and social governance initiatives and pledges and things like that. And so this work is really an extension of what's already happening. The average consumer is looking at how the products that they buy and consume, how are those corporations navigating in this world where inclusivity, diversity, and justice and equity are becoming very common conversations that people are having. And it's going to become an issue of affecting your corporation's bottom line if you do not consider the fact that this is something that consumers are looking for. And then I think, and I'll add a third one, I think politically, when we look at just the shift globally, most recently, I think about a couple of weeks ago, there's going to be a lot more reporting standards that are coming out. We're seeing this in Europe right now around energy sourcing, environmental sustainability, and things like that. And I'm very confident that that wave will continue to the US, just given the fact that we're talking about greenwashing and we're talking about holding corporations responsible for their carbon footprint.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't want to be woke.
That is something that I hear a lot. I transitioned into this role from financial services, and I think I remember the day I read the Wall Street Journal and there was a discussion around woke stocks. And, you know, I was talking to someone within the industry and I said, well, that's not a ticker. WOKE is not a fund or that you can invest in. I think the idea of being anti-woke or anti any of these things, again, is really just coming from the overall politicization of this work. At the root of it, what we're asking people to do is just apply an equity lens to the work that you're already doing. If you're already talking about sustainability, how are you including marginalized communities in that discussion, right? So that's not moving you away from the goal. That's not putting you in a position to be unprofitable. It's really just analyzing, this is a part of your population. This is a part of your consumer base. This is a part of your target market, for example. And so having an understanding of what that group is looking for not only helps your bottom line, but then it also brings them into the conversation so that when we are having these discussions around what a transition to a low carbon economy looks like, their voices are heard as well.
Yeah, that's so important. And people at last are beginning to realize that there are huge amounts of money in sustainable accounts.
Definitely.
The return in many cases is in fact better than the usual accounts because that's where the future lies. And therefore we can only hope for the best. And I think that your initiative is strongly helping us on that road. You know, it get as many people as possible involved in and caring about this. So I think what you're doing is excellent. And I would like to thank you very much for your contribution and for what you're doing. And we wish you all the best in getting very successful with this and convincing more and more people to understand where things are going.
100%. And thank you for the opportunity. This is how we get the word out. And so it's been a fantastic time here today.
Terrific. Well, thank you very much and look forward to seeing you again soon.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.